So, so basically, let me start with a prayer. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktiragava Swaminiti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktiragava Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pachane Visheshunya Dvachatri Stavine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So this astrology is a very, very ancient science. It is considered the topmost of all Vedic knowledge, means of all different types of Vedic knowledge, this is considered the topmost. So topmost means this is the most mystical knowledge, the most mystical. And this is very, very mystical because this knowledge, it depends on a horoscope reading is not just, it has two aspects to a horoscope reading. There are two aspects to a horoscope reading. The first aspect to a horoscope reading is your knowledge of mathematics. But today, fortunately, today, how to create a chart, all that mathematics has been fed into a machine and it will give you the position of the charts very easily today compared to what it was before. Earlier, the mathematicians had to practically sit down and do every calculation. If you see, they had to sit down and do every calculation. Today, you can generate a horoscope with date, time, and place, everything. You can generate it. But the second part is the way most important thing. Anybody can generate a chart. But the second part is for you to be able to read the chart. So to read the chart is very, very, it is not so easy. It is to read this chart, it's a little complex, so to speak, it's a little complex. So we should know all these complexities and be able to read this horoscope in all its complexity. And then finally, we should be able to read what is called as lakshana. So lakshana is very, very important. So what is lakshana? Lakshana is the sign, auspicious or inauspicious. So for example, I'll give you a few examples here for auspicious and inauspicious. So auspicious. So what happened is once two people took two people. Okay, just one moment. Somebody is trying to join. So two people took a horoscope to an astrologer just to test him. Okay, they took the horoscope, and as soon as they took the horoscope to the astrologer, he took that horoscope and he took that horoscope. So welcome to Aditya Prabhu who just joined. So he took that horoscope. As soon as he took that horoscope, and you could see that a dead lizard fell from the top on that horoscope. A dead lizard fell from the top of the ceiling on that horoscope. And this astrologer, without even looking at the chart, he looked at both of them and he said, "This is a dead man's horoscope." Oh. Immediately he said, "This is a dead man's horoscope." How? The chipkali, the lizard, fell right there. So So I've just muted everybody. So whenever you want to speak, you can just unmute and speak. Huh? So because it fell, he could immediately understand that this was a dead man's horoscope. So you should be able to read. I'll tell you one more example, which my astrology teacher gave. So this astrology teacher, so this client, astrology client, he called this astrologer and he said, I am in big trouble. Can you tell me, can you help me? As soon as he said that, you should record that moment, what you see, what you hear, what you understand. So as soon as he said that, there was a picture of Narsimhadev, Lord Narsimha, on his wall. It immediately fell down and crashed. So as soon as it fell down, you could see it fell down, and it's not a normal occurrence. So something which is a normal occurrence should not be a problem. Something which is a normal occurrence should not be a problem. But something, as soon as you get a situation and you see something happening, just like I remember one of my friends, he was having an argument with another, and the other one was his boss. So we both were sitting and the boss was there. The boss wanted to take very strict action on him for something. And as he was speaking during that situation, as soon as he said, we will seriously now take serious action against you, as soon as he said that, there was a lightning at that very moment. So these things indicate something. So astrology is also called as a lakshana. So for example, you are going to start you're going to the bank to start an account for a business, some new thing. You are going to start a business basically to take a loan or something. Now on the way, it is said, if you see a young lady with a pot of milk, auspicious young lady, then your thing will be successful. But if you meet, when on the way you are going, you are seeing there is some accident, there is some dead animal, you see all these different things, then that means it is very, very inauspicious. Therefore, we have to understand that astrology, the most important thing in astrology is for us to be able to see the proper sign. When somebody comes to you, what time he has come, what time of the day he has come. So we will study all this, how the day affects, the time affects. Somebody comes to you, this is already given in the astrology books, what time when somebody comes to ask you a question, when somebody comes to meet you, what kind of questions he has. So all this is related to what? So this is all in Prashna, all different things. But first we will begin with the basics today. So I would allow you to speak in between. If anybody wants to ask or stop me in between, just unmute yourself and just stop me and ask that question. Anytime you get a doubt, anytime you have anything, this is an open interactive session. I am not giving a one-sided lecture. So I want all of you to be very participative and ask questions. Feel free. Okay. Now, what is horoscope? So astrology, basically, I'll just summarize each point as we go on. So the first point is astrology is a science of time. Astrology is a science of lakshana. Astrology is also a mathematical science. Now, speaking about which, karma and destiny. This is a very common question. Karma and destiny. So people ask this question, why study astrology? Why karma and destiny? How do you understand that? How do you interpret that? So the first thing we have to understand is that karma and destiny. So basically, when you are born, there are certain things which become fixed that you cannot change. Like, for example, I have brown skin, right? or whatever skin I have, right? So I have black hair, I have this t-shirt can be changed, that is karma. But my skin cannot be changed, my body cannot be changed. Michael Jackson tried to go against astrology, he tried to become white instead of black, but you see what happened, right? His nose fell off. So there are certain karma you can change, but certain karma you cannot change. So there are certain karma which gives you an option in life. So that is called, so the type of karma that cannot be changed, that is fixed, that is almost about 60 to 70% of your horoscope. So what you are, you cannot change. What you are born with, your situation, your parents, this, that, you cannot change. But what you can change, what you have freedom with. So there are certain things where you have certain freedom. So what is that freedom that you have? What is that situation that you have? So the first thing about that is 30 to 40%. The example is given that of a cow which is tied to a rope to a tree. So now in your horoscope, you have something called as minimum karma and something called as maximum karma. So minimum karma means, for example, even if I be lazy, even if I do only this much, just you can barely survive, you can do that. Now, maximum is even if you do your best according to your body, mind, senses, until higher forces bless you, within your own strength, you can achieve this much. Without any higher force intervention, with your own endeavor, minimum you can achieve this much. But there is also another story which I would like to say, how you can destroy even your good karma. So there were two disciples of a guru. So the first disciple of the guru, the first disciple of the guru, one was very pious, very good karma, he would do a lot of good karma. And the second was very, very impious, he would do a lot of bad karma. So years went by, and one day, for one day, one second. So one day, both of them had a freak accident. So what is that accident? One day, the good guy who was doing all the good karma in his life, he kind of met with an accident. He met with an accident. And he had a severe injury in his leg. Now, the second guy, on the same day, he also had a kind of an accident, and his leg hit some metal pot. And when he dug that, he found that the pot was full of gold. And both came to the guru and they asked, I did all good karma in my life. The one disciple said, I did all the good things in my life, and today I had a severe accident and my leg is severely injured. And the other disciple says that other disciple, I did all bad things, I know, but I got a pot of gold. Now, how is that? So when both of them questioned the guru replied, today, the disciple who had an injury to the leg, he should have died. And the other disciple who got the pot of gold, he said, you should have become the king. So what it means is, because of his continuous bad karma, instead of becoming the king, he just got a pot of gold. The other disciple, because of all his good karma, instead of dying a brutal death because of his previous karma, he just got an injury in the leg and his life was extended. So we can see what changes your astrological situation is your karma, is basically your activity. So that is why spiritual knowledge is considered the highest. And one who practices spiritual knowledge, one who practices yoga, one who practices any spiritual knowledge, to that degree that he practices sincerely, his karma is reduced, his bad karma is reduced. Now, getting down to the horoscope basics, I sent you a link. There are two things I sent you. One is a book by P.V. Narasimha Rao. It's a very, very standard textbook. It has about 450 pages. And we will try to cover almost 3/4 of that book in this course, 60 to 70% of that book in this course. And I will give you about 3 months time. And then you should be able to, because that book, I chose that book because I went through so many astrology books, but this book is very, very systematic. It gives you a very systematic step-by-step understanding of each aspect of astrology. And then he gives you proper mathematical examples by which you can understand also. So that book is there. Plus, today I sent you a link from the Vedaves that orbits of the planets. So this orbits of the planets. So what is horoscope essentially? The Vedic horoscope. So there is the Western horoscope. I won't deal much with that, but I'll just give an idea what it is. And there is the Vedic horoscope. So how does it work? Okay. So the first thing is, in Western, you are born in a particular day, and then you are automatically assigned a particular sign, and that's it. Suppose you are born in August, then you are a Leo. You are born in a certain month, then you are another sign. So it's like fixed. It's based on this calendar. But Vedic horoscope is not like that. Vedic horoscope is very, very different. Vedic horoscope considers a lot of factors and then it puts everything together. Now let us begin to understand the Vedic horoscope. So here in the we will see that Srila Prabhupada explains in this particular link that I sent you from the Vedaves. There is a beautiful description of the distance between the planets. So what is the horoscope? At a given place where you are born, when I look up at the sky, so you are born in a particular place and I look up at the sky, what is the planetary situation? I just take a picture of the planets and then I put it on a 360-degree circle. So what you have to do, basically you should have a 360-degree circle. And if I look up in the sky right now from the place I am born, so that is why you need 3 things to generate a horoscope. The first is the date, time, and place of birth. Any horoscope software, it needs date, time, and place of birth. Because all the planets in Vedic astrology, they move according to a mathematical formula. So there is a mathematical formula for each planet. So you can exactly track where this planet is, and depending on your position, how it is in your horoscope. astrology takes into consideration. So you have to understand. Let me put this very, very. You have to note each point very carefully. So the Earth is a sphere. Okay, and depending on where you are, suppose you are at the northern hemisphere, or you are in Earth planet, or sorry, you are in the North America, or you are in Mexico, or you are in India, or you are in Hawaii. So from each point of view, if I draw a line to the planets, how they appear. So the astrology softwares of today, they give you the exact position of these planets and there. The first thing you have to understand is when you draw the Vedic horoscope. So when you draw the Vedic horoscope, Earth is the center. Like in the solar system, we find that in the solar system, we consider Sun is the center. But in the Vedic horoscope, Earth is the center. So Earth is the center, and all the planets are around all the planets are around. So that is why you will find that these 7 planets, there is no Earth planet in the orbit. If you look at Western astrology or modern astrology, they consider Earth stationary, Earth stationary, and no, they consider Sun stationary and Earth moving. But Vedic astrology considers Earth stationary and Sun is moving. And that is also given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, when you look at the sky, all the planets are at different heights. All the planets are at different heights, if you see. So if you look at there is the, what do you call it? I think I can share screen also, right? I think there is an option to share screen. Yeah. Okay, later on I will show you how it looks like. So in this, you will find there is a beautiful description here in the orbits of planets. So we find that in the summary, it is given very beautifully. The sun god, okay, the sun planet. So when you want to describe the result of any planet, you should know that planet. So that is our first lesson. Vedic astrology, each planet is a person. The sun is a sun god, like in our Radhika Mataji and Vesela Mataji, we were those who are doing yoga, we call that Surya Namaskar, right? Right, Vesela? Yeah. So we worship, correct, no, Radhika Mataji? So we call that Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar means worshipping the sun. Worshipping the sun because the sun is the source of light, heat, and here it describes he controls the universal heat and light. He is the universal controller for heat and light, and also the sun is a witness to your karma. The sun represents the soul. When we did the chakra meditation, last week we had our yoga retreat and Radhika Mataji was there. When we did that, when we did the meditation, in astrology, the sun is the king, he represents the soul. And the moon, so anybody, I will just unmute. So what does the moon represent? Anybody, what does the moon represent? Mind, yes. The moon represents the mind. So the sun represents soul, moon represents
mind. Oh, okay.
mind.
So, okay.
Now, just imagine when we were doing the chakra meditation, I began in the heart, because it is said the universe that you see outside there is a universe within your body. So sun represents the soul. The light of the sun is reflected by the moon, correct? In the universe, right? The light of the sun is reflected by the moon. So similarly, our body, according to the astrological science, Vedic science, is uh, is because of the soul. The soul gives us energy. Soul gives the body energy, and the energy of this soul is reflected in the moon. Is reflected in the moon planet. So the sun and the moon, so they represent the soul and the mind. Now, so here it says that Lord Narayana represents three Vedas, Rig, Yajur, and Sama, and therefore he is known as Trayi Maya, the form of Lord Narayana. The sun is responsible for the seasonal changes, and those who perform yoga, they get special blessings from the sun when they do Surya Namaskar. It helps. So that is why one of the solutions, when the sun in the horoscope, remember this, when the sun is weak in somebody's horoscope, he has to do Surya Namaskar to change his, because weak sun represents weak physical health, weak physical and mental health. Now, the sun gets his power directly from Surya Narayana, and he is in the complete movement of the sun. One movement, 360 degrees, constitutes 1 year. 1 year. This is very interesting. Now write this down. Note this carefully. The complete movement of the sun is 1 year. But the movement of the moon is calculated month. So the difference between that is very important, because the sun takes exactly 365 days to cover the 360 degrees. But the moon doesn't take exactly 30 days. Sometimes he covers less or more. So the month is calculated based on the moon. The year is calculated based on the sun. So we have to understand this. Okay. So then we find here that there are different planets above each other. So it is said the moon is 800,000 miles above the rays of sunshine. So basically what is happening, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the planets in height, according to Vedic astrology, there is the Earth. The first planet from the Earth, according to height, is the sun. So the moon is closer to the Earth, but in height it is more. The sun is further away from the Earth in width, but in height it is lesser than the moon. Can you get it? Everybody got it? Right? So there is sun, moon, Mars, right? Mercury. But the sun, here is the Earth. The sun is further away like this, width-wise. But the moon is closer to the Earth, but it is more than the height of the sun. The sun is further in terms of width, but in height. once our founder Srila Prabhupada of ISKCON, he said moon is further in height than the sun. So somebody asked, how is it? So he said, why is Sunday before Monday? That's a very beautiful example. Sunday before Monday. How is that possible? So, so there is. So the first thing we have to understand, there is Sunday. So there is Sunday, and then there is Monday. So Sunday is represented by the sun, and Monday represented by the moon. Tuesday is represented by Mars. Wednesday is represented by Mercury. Thursday is represented by Jupiter. Friday is represented by Venus, Shukra. And Saturday is represented by Saturn or Shani, Graha. So each day is good for certain things. For example, it is said one should not get married on a Saturday. One should not cut hair on the weekday you are born. Suppose you are born on Saturday, like I was born on a Saturday, right? But it is said if the weekday you are born, do not cut your hair. These are some of the things why it is so important. It says Tuesdays nobody should cut hair. So if somebody is coming to ask you which day to cut hair, not to cut hair, tell them not to cut hair during the day of the week you are born and Tuesdays. The other days, whatever discount you get from barber shop, it's okay. Right? So some of the things are important. So Tuesdays. Wednesdays are very good for earning money, for money exchange, because it's Venus. Thursday is very good to start any knowledge related, activity. And there are certain activities which we will see. So the days, so these 7 planets are important. Along with these 7 planets, the sun, the moon, these are 2. But in between there are, after these 7, there are 2 special planets. And they are called Rahu and Ketu. Right? So they are called Rahu and Ketu. Now, these Rahu and Ketu are capable of destruction. They are capable of eclipsing. They are capable of actually eclipsing the sun and the moon. Rahu is capable of eating the sun and the moon. So Rahu is a shadow planet, and it is said he is twice bigger than the moon. So Rahu is twice bigger than the moon. So now there is a beautiful description here. After the moon, there is sun, there is the moon in height. Okay, the sun is a little width away. Then there is the moon, and then there is Pitraloka. Pitraloka means where our ancestors go. Okay, so you have to make a page. In a page, I want you to draw this. So draw a line, okay, and the base, put it as earth. Okay, on a page, draw a line, and on the base, write earth. Or like these cowboys would pronounce oit, earth. Now, the first thing you write, draw a circle, little bit away from that line, little bit further, little bit further. So draw a line. So base, on that base is earth. Little bit on the right, you make the sun, S-U-N, sun. Okay. Now closer to the line, little bit above the sun, you draw another circle and put it as the moon. Okay. Now, somewhere in between the sun and the moon, it's not really fixed, but somewhere between the sun and the moon, you can draw on circle on either side, equal distance. Circle on either side, equal distance. So one is Rahu, one is Ketu. Because Ketu is exactly opposite of Rahu. So in a horoscope, when you look, when there is Rahu, exactly opposite to that is Ketu. Right? Okay, this much is drawn, right? So there is Earth, there is Sun, then you have Rahu, Ketu, then there is the Moon. Okay, right? We got till this much. Now, above the Moon, just draw like two lines. One line, little bit above, another line. And in between that space, you should write like Pitraloka, Pitrloka. Right? It is said that our ancestors, they go to these heavenly planets because moon is considered a heavenly planet. So moon is not like the moon what we see. Moon is actually more beautiful, right? It is more beautiful than Hawaii, so to speak. Hawaii is very close, more as beautiful like the moon. It's very beautiful, much beautiful than Las Vegas. So then above that is, if you draw a circle, the next planet above that, okay, not the circle, okay, above the Pitraloka, draw another two lines. I'm sorry, draw another two lines, and that space is nakshatra, stars, nakshatra, Nakshatra. Why is it called a nakshatra? Na kshetra. So their kshetra, their space is fixed. So when you draw the horoscope, the nakshatras, the stars, they are fixed. Only the planets move. Only the planets move. So in a horoscope, in the 12 houses, there are different planets. They move. So planets move, but the stars don't move. None of those stars or the houses, nothing moves. So they are fixed. So all the stars exist just above this Pitraloka. So that is called Antariksha. Antariksha means the space where all the stars are there. So what are the stars? There are 27 stars, right? We see this polar bear. We see that two fish, correct? We see all these different star formations. So they are all within this space. Okay. Now above this, you can draw one more planet, one more circle. Now that is Venus. So above the stars is Venus or Shukra. And Shukra represents love. So whenever you want to look at somebody's love life, romance, enjoyment, potency for enjoyment, luxury, and nice bedding, clothing, all that is Venus. Art, if his Venus is very strong, then he is very good at art. Such people are very artistic. So Venus is representing art. Venus is representing romance. It is also representing strength for romance. So above the moon comes Venus. So you see, the moon represents the mind, vegetation. The moon also represents vegetables, herbs, power to heal. Moon also represents cows and land, water. Moon represents a lot, actually. So moon is, so the position of the moon in your horoscope is very, very important. Because moon determines your strength of the mind, strength of your healing, strength of your, all these different things. So, is then above this Venus is, you can draw another planet. So that is Mercury. Mercury is the son of moon planet. So remember these two relationships. Mercury is the son of moon, and Saturn, which we will see later on, Saturn is the son of sun, son of sun, S-O-N of S-U-N. So Saturn is the son of sun planet, and Mercury is the son of moon planet. Now Mercury, now what does Mercury represent? Mercury represents communication. So that is why Mercury in your horoscope represents two things: your brothers, communication, and Mercury also represents your nerves, your nervous system. Green, your green nervous system. And Mercury is it is said that Mercury is both auspicious and inauspicious. Again, every planet, depending on their position, no planet is, is good or bad in the horoscope. Every planet, depending on their position and situation, is good or bad. So sometimes a bad planet is sitting in the bad house and it gives you a good result. Minus, minus, plus. So it is good planet might be sitting in a bad house or a bad situation and it is giving you bad results. So no planet is good or bad by itself, although some of them are very bad in nature. And we will see that when we describe these planets. So some of these planets are bad in nature. Yet, depending on how they are placed in your horoscope, they can be good or bad. Now, so far we have drawn Earth, then Sun, right? Then the Moon. Now, in between the Sun and the Moon is Rahu, Ketu. Above the Moon is the planet of the ancestors. Then above the planet of ancestors is the nakshatras, right? Above that is Mercury. Now, above Mercury, you can draw another planet.
I think you said above nakshatra is Venus.
Oh, Venus. Yeah, sorry.
Venus,
Venus,
above Venus
Venus.
is,
Venus. Yeah. See, I am not very interested in those kind of things right now. I'm just joking. So that's why I missed Venus. So Venus, and then above Venus is Mercury. Now above Mercury, draw another planet. Then that is Mars. Now what does Mars represent? Any guesses?
Strength, power.
Huh? Strength, power. What else?
Cutting.
Hmm?
Something sharp, cutting stuff.
Right. Strength,
Blood.
blood, yes. And okay, so yes, it represents blood, it represents strength, it represents spirit of a warrior. It represents spirit of a warrior in the horoscope. So we can see that Mars is considered, in general, it is very, very agitating, very, very strong planet. Now, above Mars is Jupiter. So Jupiter is one of the biggest planets. Now, what does Jupiter represent?
Knowledge.
Guru.
Knowledge.
Guru, yes. Guru, knowledge, the Vedas, teaching, teacher. Jupiter also represents sun, S-O-N, sun, your sun. Learning, teaching, all this is the prerogative of Jupiter. What is next? So the last planet above this is Saturn. Now, before we get into Saturn, the sun represents father. Okay, just remember, sun represents father. Moon represents mother. The Venus represents spouse. Then Jupiter represents teacher. Mercury represents communication. For a girl's horoscope, also Mercury also represents brothers, male siblings, and Jupiter represents sun, S-O-N, and also teacher. Now Saturn, he represents law, L-A-W, law. Saturn, it is said, that is why the period of Saturn is the most difficult, because it gives you instant karma, he gives you instant suffering. So that is why the Saturn return, when the Saturn passes over your moon, that is like the most horrible period in your life. The most difficult period. Many people get stuck in this period. It is like, I was just looking at, before starting the session, I was looking at the bushfires in Australia. All of you know this, right? The bushfires in Australia. It's huge. I mean, what kind of karma is it that these fires, you can see it's a result of karma. It is the Saturn moving over this very strong period. So now Saturn is going to enter his own house in the next in a few days, he will enter his own house. He will enter the house of Capricorn. In a few days, he is moving to Capricorn, his own house. Now he is in such a bad house. The main thing is the movement of Saturn and Jupiter. If you want to do a yearly calendar, how things are going on for the planet, then you have to look at the position of Saturn and Jupiter. So Saturn and Jupiter, they represent a lot. And then this Saturn, he also represents hard work. And if Saturn is good in your horoscope, Saturn also represents longevity. Saturn also represents hard work that you can do. So those who have Saturn prominent in their horoscope, they are very, very hardworking. So this Saturn moves the slowest. The fastest is the moon. The fastest is the moon, and the slowest is the Saturn. Every other planet is in between. Now, above this Saturn is the 7 stars representing the 7 sages. So now above this Saturn planet, you can draw 7 dots. So the Great Bear, the 7, is it called the Great Bear? Right, the 7 stars, right? The 7 saints, 7 rishis, Sapta rishis. So they are there. What do these planets do? Every planet, it is said every planet has 2 aspects to it. Every planet has 2 aspects. One is called as the Jiva and Paramatma. So every planet has a Lord who is an avatar of Krishna. This is very important for you when you want to give a solution to their problem. So whenever you want to give a solution to their problem, you should know which planet is the Lord, who lords each planet. Because what happens is, for example, now I want, somebody is working for some company. Now whatever they want to do, they have to take permission from the boss, right? So whichever planet is bossed by whichever avatar of the Lord, whenever you want to give solution, like for example, most cases today, people have Mars problems in their horoscope, problem with Mars. So what happens when there is a problem with Mars? They have deaths in the marriage, they have problems with the marriage. And in that case, what happens is that because of these issues, some people get married, they become sick, the spouses become sick. So the Lord of Mars, now I want you to write that next to the planet in this page. So each planet has a Lord. So Mars, the Lord is Lord Narasimha, Narasimha. So the planet who lords Mars, who controls blood, who controls strength is Lord Narasimha.
It's also said Kartikeya, but that is not from the.
Yeah. See, this is Brahat Parashara Hora Smriti.
Oh.
In the Brahat Parashara Hora Smriti, Parashara Rishi is the father of Vyasa.
Correct.
And Parashara Muni has written, there are 2 lords. One is a demigod who represents something, who lords over. But the actual Lord is an avatar of Krishna.
Oh.
He is more powerful. So if when you give a solution to somebody, if that prayer you give, worship to that deity, then if you give worship to that, then you will find that he will get the benefit, directly. So I would like to welcome Rishi here. He's in two ways. He is here. Okay, he's here. Okay. Rishikesh, thank you for joining in. So this session is being recorded, so you will be able to watch it, whatever you have missed. Okay. All right. So can you hear? Rishikesh, can you respond? Can you respond?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Anyways, okay. So I'll just mute you now. So, so we can find that the Lord of Mars, the Lord of Mars is Narasimha. Okay. Now let us begin with the Sun. Who is the Lord of Sun? Any guesses? It is
Surya Narayana.
Huh?
Narayana.
Sun is Narayana. Okay. Now specific avatar.
Surya Narayana.
Who is the Surya Vamshi king who became very famous?
Rama.
Rama, correct. So it is Rama. So the Lord of Sun is Rama. No. So Sun is Rama, right? So the Surya, Rama. And let's go to the next one, the moon.
Krishna it would be.
Yes, the moon is lorded by Krishna. So the moon is lorded by Lord Krishna himself, and that is why it is said the only way to heal the mind is by yoga, because Krishna is called Yogeshwara. So to heal the mind, one has to purify the mind through yoga and Bhagavad, and by reading the Bhagavatam. So these are the two ways to change the karma of the mind. Moon also represents mother, but the Lord of the moon is actually Krishna. The third one we saw is, the Venus. Venus is very interesting. So who is the Lord of Venus? Any guesses? Is Parashurama. This is very interesting, but Parashurama is the Lord of Venus. And Parashurama is the Lord of Venus. The next one is we did
Mercury, Jupiter.
Mercury. So Mercury is lorded by Buddha, right? So who is the Lord of Buddha? The name is in the name.
Buddha.
Is Buddha. Is Lord Buddha himself. So Lord Buddha himself. So you can see that Mercury communication is improved by what Buddha taught. What did Buddha teach? If you want to improve your communication, so Buddha taught pranayama, mudra, bandha and pranayama, right? So the Lord of Buddha is Buddha. So if you want to improve your communication, then you should practice silence and pranayama. Interesting. Of course, for each planet there is a mantra. For each avatar there is a mantra. But yoga and reading Bhagavatam plays a very, very important role in changing your karma. So then that is Mercury. Now after Mercury comes Jupiter. Now who is the Lord of Jupiter? The material Lord is Brihaspati, who is the Guru of the Devatas. And the other Lord, the spiritual Lord, is Vamana. Because Vamana is a Brahmana. Right? Is Brahmana, is a Vamana. So let's say, so far just it begins with Surya, the sun, then represented by Rama.
Saturn is left.
Huh?
Saturn.
Saturn. Okay, we'll come to Saturn. So then the second one is Moon, right? So who is the Lord of Moon?
Krishna.
Yeah. So that is Krishna. The third one is Mars. Mars is lorded by?
Narsimha.
Yeah. And then Mercury is lorded by?
Buddha.
Right. And the Jupiter is lorded by?
Vamana.
Vamana, right? So of course we see here all the different tattvas are there. Then Venus is Parashurama, right? And Saturn, there are 3 planets left still. One is Saturn, Rahu and Ketu, right? Now Saturn is actually Kurma avatar. Kurma, tortoise incarnation of Krishna. Kurma. Rahu is Varahadev. Rahu is represented by Varaha. And Ketu is Matsya, the fish incarnation. Okay. Can any one of you volunteer to read out all of them? Let's say, let's start with the Vesela. Could you understand all of them?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Could you repeat?
Yes. So we have Sun with Lord Rama, Moon, Lord Krishna, Mars, Narasimha, Mercury, Buddha, Venus, Parashurama, and Jupiter, Gaunama, Saturn,
Jupiter.
Kurma.
Vamana. Okay.
Vamana. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vamana.
Vamana.
Vamana. Saturn is Kurma. Rahu is Varahadea or Varaha. And Ketu is Matsyana.
Matsya.
Matsya.
Yeah, so you should also understand the English translation of each. So the Rama is, of course, Lord Rama, right?
Yeah.
So Krishna is Lord Krishna. Then Narasimha is the half man, half lion incarnation, like a lion face. Then Buddha, Buddha.
Yeah.
Buddha is the most famous, I guess.
Yeah.
And Matsya is the fish. The Lord comes as the fish.
Yeah.
Kurma is the tortoise. Vamana is a
Which one?
Kurma.
What
Kurma,
is kurma?
tortoise. Tortoise, turtle.
Ah, got it.
Turtle, yeah. Tortoise, turtle.
Kurmasana.
Kurmasana, yes. Yes, exactly. Kurmasana, yes. Kurma, turtle. And well, the
Parashurama.
Parashurama is a warrior.
Oh.
He is a warrior incarnation of the Lord. Then the Varaha. Varaha is like a boar, like a pig, but he's golden colored. So Lord comes as a golden colored, beautiful pig, whose body is that of yajna. Yajna, you make that fire sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Fire sacrifice in Vedas. So his body is full of that different fires, So he looks like a boar. It's very beautiful. Then the Rahu is Varaha, yes, the pig, and Ketu is the fish incarnation, and Saturn is Kurma. Okay, so I think that covers all the planets there. So now each planet, so now you have drawn them by height. Okay. So we know very clearly that each planet, so the bottom planet is the sun, nearest in terms of height to the earth. Then comes the moon, and after moon comes Venus, and after Venus comes Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. Now in between the sun and the moon comes Rahu and Ketu. Now in between these planets, we have the Pitraloka above the moon, and we have the 27 stars, nakshatras. So when you look up the sky and you make the sky into a 360 degrees, so these 360 degrees, okay, now is where we begin some mathematics, okay? When you look up the sky and that 360 degree sky, I divide into 12 equal halves, okay? So now, just draw a circle. Just take another page. Now, in a fresh page, draw one circle and then draw another circle inside it. Give sufficient space. Okay? As though you are looking like this. When I look up the sky, I am dividing these 360 degrees. 360 degrees. Okay? Now, if I divide them if I divide them into 12 equal halves, now that you have one big circle, one inner circle, right? It's like a tire. Now divide that into 12 equal halves. Divide them into 12 equal halves. Now, okay, do it, then we'll talk. Rishikesh, can you still hear? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear. Okay, all right. So we are drawing this chakra, Bachakra it is called. Huh? So this will give you a representation.
It didn't come equal. Draw करे लेकिन 12 it didn't come equally.
Okay, see, this is what happens when you don't go to a good school when you're young.
नहीं प्रभु जी.
So, okay, you can use another page. But anyway, so now 360 you are dividing into 12. How much does each house represent? How many degrees?
30.
30 degrees.
30
30
degrees.
Yeah. So 30 degrees. So each house represents 30 degrees. Okay. Now these are the 12 houses in astrology. Okay. Now each house is now 30 degrees. Now these degrees are like the circular, degrees. You should not measure them in inches and centimeters. They should be measured. 1 degree is equal to how many minutes if I draw like a triangle, this degree, right? 1 degree is how many minutes? 60 minutes, right? So each of these 30 degrees is divided into 60 minutes. Now, why is this important? Because each house, now we will see, and then each star is also distributed here equally. So now this is the base structure. Now the planets will move. This circle that you see on this, the houses and the stars will be fixed and the planets will move. Okay. So now let us look at the first in that house. If I divide 27 stars are there, correct? Now 27 stars, can you divide 360 by 27? How much do you get? You can do it with your iPhone, but here we have to divide in terms of minutes. Okay, so if I divide 360 degrees divided by 27. So I get 33. But you don't take 13.33. Why? Here you take 13 degrees, and out of, if I take 60 minutes, 33 represents 20 minutes, 1/3. Remember? Is that fine? Correct? Everybody got it? 13 degree, 20 minutes. So there are 27 stars. Each one has an equal space. So the 360 degrees in which each star is divided into an equal space. Okay. Now what I want you to do is this 12 houses, we will write the names of the 12.
Babaji, you're breaking. You're breaking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even I couldn't hear. It's
We
a problem.
missed last
Okay, let me bring it a
34
little closer.
seconds.
Okay. So these 12 houses, you should now write the names for each house now. Okay, and then we will write the stars. Okay. So the 12 houses in astrology. So first house, you can start with any house, but the first house in astrology, the first house is Aries. The first house is Vedi, Aries. It is called as Mesha. Right? It is called as Mesha. Mesha, or like the ram. So it is the first house, Aries. And the second one is called Taurus. Just put the names now. Aries, Taurus, Mesha, Vrashabha. Vrashabha, yeah, is
It's-
like the bull. The third house is called as Gemini. So this 12, now you are writing the names, okay? So Mesha, Vrashabha, then the third one is Mithuna. No, is it Mithuna? Yeah. Then the fourth one is Cancer, Kataka. The fifth one is called Leo or Simha. The sixth house is
Virgo.
no, it's called Libra. Virgo is Kanya.
Yeah.
So, 1 second.
Yeah, it should be Libra, Virgo first, right?
Virgo, yeah, correct. And Libra, the next one. Virgo is Kanya. And Libra is Tula. Tula is like the law, Tula Bhara. So Aries represents like the ram, Taurus the bull, so Gemini the Mithuna twins, Kataka is like the Kataka, like the it's like a crab. Leo is the lion. Kanya is the virgin. Tula is like the
Scale.
scale, yeah. And next is Scorpio or Vrashchika. So Vrashchika is the Scorpio, yeah, Scorpio itself. There is no.
Yeah.
Scorpio is Scorpion, Scorpio. The next is Sagittarius, Dhanush. Then comes Capricorn. Hmm. Capricorn is a very, very important, spiritually important position because the founder, those who have Capricorn, they achieve their spiritual goals. So anybody who is having a Capricorn ascendant, the first house of their horoscope, if they have Capricorn ascendant, all the major acharyas, if you see Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, our ISKCON founders, they are all Capricorn ascendants. And then Aquarius, and then Pisces. So the 12 houses, now we will draw the 27 stars. Now what these 12 houses represent and what the stars represent, we will see. But first we want to draw them, okay? And then we will see. So now each house is how many degrees?
30.
30, right? Now if I have each star 13 degree 20 minutes, so how many stars can there be in one house?
2.2 full and remaining are like in points, Prabhu? Because
Yes.
it's
Yes.
12.
You see 13 degree 20 minutes, each one star,
Yeah.
right? So if 13 degree 20 minutes, 26 degree 40 minutes. So if I take out 30, 26 degree 40 minutes, 27, 28, 29, 30, 3 degree 20 minutes is remaining. So then the star extends to the next house. Then the star extends to the next house, okay? Now let's start with the 27 stars. Now, can you draw like this? You can draw it on the outs within the each house. Okay, divide it into 13 degree 20, 13 degree 20, and 3 degree 40, the first house. So the first star is the first one, right? The first two. So it will contain two point something in each house. So who are these stars, by the way? What do they represent? They are said to be the wives of the moon planet. They are said to be the wives of the moon planet. So the first 13 degree 20 minutes, the first planet, the first star is Ashwini. What is it? Ashwini. 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 Now the second 13 degree 20 minutes is Bharani, Bharani. After the class, you should send a picture and you can send me an email so that I know what you have drawn, if it's a Mickey Mouse or if it's actually the houses. So, the third one, okay, now is the interesting part. The third one, which starts at 3 degree 20, 3 degree 40, then the rest continues into the next house, right? It should represent 13 degree 20. So if you remove 3 degree 40, then it will be extend up to 9 degree 20 in the next house. So the third star is Kritika, Krittika. So Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika. So now Kritika is extended 9 degree 20 minutes, right? Now you add 13 degree 20 minutes. The next star is Rohini, Rohini. So now if you eat 13 degree 20 minutes to this one, so 9 degree 40. So you're adding 21, 22. So it ends at 22 degrees in the second house. So everyone got it, right? How it goes?
Roji, I'm not putting on the diagram yet. I'm writing down what you're telling me. I'm
Plot it in the, no, but if you plot it in the diagram, it will
Mhm.
become easier. Means you draw Rohini, Ashwini, Bharani in the first house, 2, and then the Kritika goes over.
Okay.
Next house. Can you show your papers, all of? Can you show what you're exactly doing? Oh, like this, exactly. So in this, if you do, right. So if you draw this from the first house, right? If you draw this from the first house, you mark 13 degree 20, yes. Maybe I can, right. So yeah, exactly. Mark this from the first house. Then it'll be easier to read it right then and there in the chakra itself. See, now you can do little rough, but then I would say do it 2-3 times during the week so that by next class, you know it at the back of your head. You should know these stars at the back of your head. Ashwini, for me, I get these 12 houses. I sometimes still get confused with the English and the Western name, English and Vedic name. I'm good with the Vedic name, but when it comes to English name, I get a little confused. But we should not have this. It should be we should have it by heart. So the first one is Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika. So Kritika, in the second house, it extends to 9 degree 40 minutes. The next one is Rohini, so 13 degree 20. So 22 degrees are covered. So 8 degrees are left in the second house. So that is Mrigashira, Mrigashira, Mrigashira. So, okay, so here it comes. Okay, it's actually not 9 degree 40, it's 10 degree Taurus. So Rohini, the fourth nakshatra, it was not 9 degree 40, it's actually 10 degree Taurus. So from 10 to 23:20 is Rohini. Now Mrigashira is from 2320 of the second house to 6 degree 40 in the third house. Is it confusing? Everybody got it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Do you have a sample of this, like an image? If something goes wrong on my drawing, so I can follow
Okay.
the drawing of it.
Yeah.
There is a
Let
book.
me, I think I have, last time I had shared it with Charu. Let me.
Or if it's in the book, I can find it in the book.
Yeah, it's there in the book.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah,
Okay.
page 11. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it right away. In the book, it's there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, then if it's anywhere, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so these numbers are important, but that is the hard part, the mathematics. So this, but if you get it right, because the thing is, sometimes, see, you go to any temple in India, they will ask you your nakshatra, and they will immediately tell which Rashi you are. If you tell which nakshatra, which pada. Now, for example, the 13 degree, if the 13 degree 20 minutes of each nakshatra is divided into 4 halves. Anyway, we stopped in between. So let's go back to where we were. So we did, which nakshatra did we do?
Mrigashira.
Mrigashira. Okay. Now 640 to 20 Gemini is Arudra, Ardra. So I will share one link, one very nice link, which has this actually in a separate page. Okay. I'll just share it in the WhatsApp. That's all I can see with the phone. It's so if you check your WhatsApp, I have sent that link. Now that has precisely, he has made each star into a box, and beautifully he has explained what does it contain. Okay. Now Gemini 6 degree 40 to 20 degree is Arudra, Ardra. The next is Punarvasu. Okay. The next is Punarvasu, that is 20 Gemini to 320 Cancer. Punarvasu and 320 Cancer to 1640 Cancer is Pushya. Punarvasu, Pushya. Now, why these stars are so important? Because a person's character is very much determined by the star. His star determines his character. Oh, we have Meera.
Say hi to Prabhuji. Okay. Say hi to Prabhuji.
Oh, okay. It's a very good Lakshana. Hare Krishna, Meera. So, Pushya. Now, why? Because each star is soft, hard, fiery, stable, unstable. So it depends on star. So the star is important. When somebody wants to buy a car, you give Tara Bala, the strength of his star is important. Okay, Punarvasu, Pushya. The next is Ashlesha. Ashlesha, Ashlesha. SHA 1640 to 30 Cancer. Punarvasu, Pushya, Ashlesha. Then that goes up to the end of Cancer, 1640 Cancer to 30 Cancer. The next one, Leo, 0 degree Leo to 1320 Leo is Magha, Magha. Magha. After I list all the stars, I will ask each one of you to read out the names of the 27 stars. So please write it properly. In this way, you will remember. The next is 1320 Leo to 2640 Leo. So that is Purva Falguni. The next is 2640 Leo to 10 Virgo. Uttara Falguni. Purva Falguni, then Uttara Falguni. Now each planet has one of the 7 planets is their lord. So when somebody is born in a particular nakshatra, whenever somebody is born in a particular nakshatra, whichever is the lord of that nakshatra. So for example, this just Uttara Falguni nakshatra, the lord of that is the sun. The lord of that is the sun. So that means when he is born, there is something called as Vimshottari Dasha, means he is going through a certain astrological period. When he is born, that period is the period of that particular planet, the lord of that planet. So if it is Uttara Falguni, then he starts with Surya Dasha. I am, for example, Anuradha Nakshatra. So the lord of Anuradha is Shani, Saturn. So when I was born, I was undergoing Saturn period. So like that, immediately you can understand by which nakshatra somebody is born, what period he went through. So that is, later on it's a calculation. So nakshatra, the star is very important. Hitler used to recruit people depending on their star, whether they are stable, unstable, whether they have a long life, depending on their horoscope and star, he used to recruit spies. Not SPIC, SPIES. Anyway, after Uttara Falguni, the next is 10 Virgo to 2320 Virgo. It is Hasta, Hasta, Hasta. Hasta is a very, very auspicious nakshatra. Hasta. Then the next is Chitta, Chitra. That is 2320 Virgo to 640 Libra. Chitta. We are almost halfway there. Hasta, Chitta. The next is Swati. This is a Maha Nakshatra. Maha Nakshatra means it's a great star. So Swati is a very great star. They are very auspicious. Some stars are very auspicious for auspicious activities. If you want to buy an aeroplane or something, this is a very good one. Something big. So this is 640 Libra to 20 Libra. Vishakha Nakshatra, 20 Libra to 320 Scorpio. So we are entering Scorpio now. Are you able to follow? I know it's a little tough, but it's right. You keep on adding 13 degree 20 minutes. And because it's a cycle. After every 5, right? It's like that. So after every 4, sorry, then it becomes 3 cycles actually. 9 stars, 9 stars, 9 stars. The next is Vishakha. We did that, right? 20 Libra to 320 Scorpio. Next is Anuradha. So Anuradha goes from 320 Scorpio to 16 Scorpio. Anuradha is also a Maha Nakshatra. Such people are very nice. Like my nakshatra is Anuradha. So, but I just underwent the Saturn return period. So my tummy is a little big, that's all. So the next is Jyeshtha. Jyeshtha is 1640 Scorpio to 30 Scorpio. So Scorpio ends with the Jyeshtha. Next is Sagittarius, Mula, M-U-L-A, Mula. Now it is said this Mula Nakshatra, those who are in Mula Nakshatra, they have a very difficult time in getting a partner for marriage. Mula. The next is Purva Ashada, 1320 to 2640, Sagittarius. Purva Ashada. Then Uttara Ashada, 2640 Sagittarius to 10 Capricorn. Uttara Shada. 21 stars are over. 22nd is Shravana, S-H-R-A-V-A-N-A. So 10 Capricorn to 2320 Capricorn. 2320 Capricorn to 640 Aquarius is Dhanishta. Dhanishta. And then comes Shatabisha. 640 Aquarius to 20 Aquarius is Shatabisha. So we are left with 3 more stars.
Spell that, Prabhuji.
What is that? Shatabisha. S-H-A-T-A-B-H-I-S-H-A. Shatabisha. The next is Purva Bhadra. 20 Aquarius to 320 Pisces. (320 Pisces to 1640 Pisces is Uttara Bhadra. Now the last one, 1640 Pisces to 30 Pisces is Revati. Now in the link that I sent in the WhatsApp, you can see all this is given, the table, where it is and everything. It also has certain letters. So naming the baby when he is born, also in the Vedic calendar, it is based on the star. So each star, 13 degree 20 minutes, is divided into 4. So when you are born, you are either born in the first pada, second pada, third pada, fourth pada. And each pada has a letter. So that is in this link that I have sent you. You can just refer it. So it has these letters. It's very difficult to by heart until and unless you sit and write these down. If you are very serious, you should have it in your head. You should sit and write this down. Then what happens after some time, when some person is there, he has this star, he is born in this pada. You can immediately tell his character, what his name should have been, which dasha he is going through, everything by the star. So star is so important. Okay, so now all of you can say the names one after the other. Let's start with Radhika Mataji.
So the first star is Ashwini, next is Bharani, third is Kritika, fourth is Rohini, fifth is Mrigashira, sixth is Arudra, seventh is Punarvasu, 8th is Pushya, 9th is Ashlesha, 10th is Magha, 11th is Purva Falguni, 12th is Uttara Falguni, 13th is Hasta, 14th is Chitta, 15th is Swati, 16th is Vishaka, 17th is Anuradha, 18th is Jesta, 19th is Moola, 28th is Purva Ashada, 21st is Uttara Ashada, 22nd is Shravana, 23rd is Dhanishta, 24th is Stabisha,
Shatabisha.
Shatabisha,
Shatabisha.
Shatabisha, 25th is Purva Bhadra, 26th is Uttara Bhadra, 27th is Revati.
Okay. Now next is Samraja Mataji. You can tell, but you don't have to tell first is, second is. Just tell the team. Second still time.
You should have told me, Prabhuji.
I didn't want to interfere in between.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrigasira, Arudra, Punarvasu, Pushyami, Ashresha, Magha, Purvalguni, Uttara Falguni, Hasta, Chitra, Swati, Vishaka, Anuradha, Jeshta, Moola, Purvashada, Uttarashada, Shravana, Dhanishta, Satabisha, Purvabhadra, Uttarabhadra, Revati.
Yes. Okay. Vesela.
Okay, I'll do my best here. Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrigasira, Ardra, Purnavasu, Pushyami, Asresha, Maka, Purva Falgani, Uttara Falgani, Hasta, Chitta, Swati, Visakha, Anuradha, Jeshta, Mula, Purvashada, Uttarashada, Savanam, Dhanishta, Satabisha, Purvabhadra, Uttarabhadra, Uttarabhadra,
Prabhuji, we missed break over here.
Revati. Did I miss something?
No. You're perfect. Very good.
Thank
But I would okay. Okay. You remembered everything with the kid, huh? Okay, that's a good way. Rishi, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, but I'm just listening. I'm not following. Like,
Oh,
I joined late, so yeah, I'll prepare from the recording.
yeah, okay. All right. So we were just reciting the names of the 27 stars. Okay. So I want you to know them, have them by heart by next week.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So I've sent the link in the WhatsApp also.
Yeah.
And another thing is your number, I wasn't able to call you. That's why.
Prabhu, actually, I'm in India, so tomorrow I'll be there in.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. All right. That explains everything. Okay. Anyway, so these are the 27 stars. Okay. All right. So going back. So this link that I've sent you, each star is divided into 4 padas, and each pada has a letter. So now can we write down these points just to make it clear? Okay, nakshatra. Point number 1, write down, because by writing down it becomes stronger in the head. Each nakshatra is divided into 4 padas, 4 halves. Okay. Each pada of a nakshatra has a unique letter. So in India, what happens is As soon as the baby is born, they make a horoscope and they see which pada. For example, one nakshatra, say it begins at 6 o'clock in the morning. And depending on the speed of the movement of the planets, that nakshatra lasts for till 6 o'clock in the evening. Say it may last 24 hours, it may last 12 hours, depending on the speed of the moon. Depending on the speed of the moon. Okay, your birth nakshatra. Now, once your nakshatra is there, once you get which pada, which nakshatra and which pada, then they select the letter from that. Suppose you are born, now if I look at this table, suppose I am born in Ashwini nakshatra, third pada. Okay. So Ashwini nakshatra has 4 letters. The first pada has letter Chu, second letter has Chi, third letter has Cho, and last letter is La. So if I choose, for example, the third letter, if I'm in third pada, then I choose the third letter. What is it? Cho. So can you think of a name with Cho?
Chola.
Chola, yes. And what else? Let's see a name with Chu. Suppose I'm born in first pada. Chuck Norris, right? So we can see that the Chu then represents the letter by which your name will become auspicious. So the letter of each nakshatra has 4 letters. Okay, so now putting in summary, these 12 rashis, okay, these 12 are called rashis, right? Now we know the names of the 12 rashis and the 27 nakshatras and the 7 or 9 planets, so to speak. Correct? Everybody got it? It is important to know which planet represents what and which house represents what. Okay? So each house in the 12 houses, they represent something unique. Now each house has a lord. Okay, write this down. Each house of the 12 houses, each house has a lord. Of the 12 houses, Aries, Taurus, all that, Mesha, Vrashabha, each one has a lord. Okay? So,
These houses are Rashis, right?
what is it?
These houses are Rashis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mesha Rashi, Vrashabha Rashi, they are Rashi. Now, each Rashi has a lord. Okay, did we write the names of the 12 houses?
Yeah.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
now you can write along with the name of the house, the lord of each house. Okay? The lord of each house of the 12 houses. So the first one is Aries, right? Mesha, Aries, Mesha. So the lord of Aries or Mesha is Mars. Who is it?
Mars.
These things you should have at the back of your head. Right? So we have enough work during this week to sit and just by heart. As if you are reading
Vedas.
The Quran or Vedas. Just sit and Aries, Mars. Then Taurus. Taurus is Venus.
Parshurama.
Okay. The third is Gemini, right? Mithuna. That is Mercury. The fourth is Kataka, Cancer. It is by the moon. The next is Leo, Simha, Lion. The lord of that is the sun, Surya. The next one is Kanya or Virgo, and the Lord is, and the Lord goes to, the Lord is Mercury. So Mercury, you see, owns 2 houses. Every planet owns 2 houses except the Sun and the Moon. The Sun and the Moon only you have 1 house. Rahu and Ketu own no houses. The next one is Tula. Libra. That is owned by Venus. So Venus owns 2 houses here.
Taurus and Libra.
Yeah. Taurus and Libra. The next one is Scorpio. Vrashchika. And he is owned by Mars. So Mars has 2 houses, right? So first is Aries and then there is Scorpio. Then the next is Sagittarius. Dhanur.
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Perfect. Okay. And now comes 2 houses of Saturn. Capricorn. So Capricorn, the Lord is Saturn. The next house is also owned by
Saturn.
Saturn. So Saturn owns 2 houses back to back. No other planet owns houses back to back. So, and the last one, Meena Rashi.
Jupiter.
What is that?
Jupiter, Prabhu.
Yeah, the last one is Jupiter, yes. So Jupiter owns on the left side Meena Rashi, Pisces, and Sagittarius.
What is Capricorn in Hindi? I mean, in Vedic astrology?
This is Capricorn, Lord is Saturn. Give me a second. Let me just confirm. I get.
Mesha? No, not Mesha.
No.
Mesha is Aries.
Makar.
Makar. And that is
Capricorn.
Yeah, Capricorn. So Meena is Pisces. Sagittarius is Dhanur. Kumbha. After Capricorn comes Kumbha Rashi.
Yeah.
So Kumbha and Makara are owned by Saturn. So we got the 12 owners. Right? Okay, so my expectation is that
homework.
Yeah, the homework is that all these 9 planets, which are their lords? The link that I put in WhatsApp, the last one, each house has a lord, as a planet as the lord. and each star has a particular planet as the Lord. That has it. So each star, for example, if you look at the link that I put in, so if you see the table, for example, the Lord of Ashwini Nakshatra is Ketu, Bharani is Venus, Kritika is the sun, Rohini is the moon. So this table is there in that link that I put there, astrologyprophets.com. So if you just scroll it, you will find each planet and their lord. So each house has a lord, a planet as their lord, and each star has a planet as their lord.
They will be different too.
Yeah. Each star has a different planet as their lord. Just like Punarvasu, it is Jupiter. Pushya, it is Saturn. Magha, it is Ketu. Right? So the lord of each star, the lord is there. Now he determines your basic character. It's very important to know that. Okay. So what I want, so now each planet has an avatar of Krishna as their lord. Remember this, right? So now you got the connection. For the first class, what I want you to do is sit down and just by heart the names of the 12 houses, their lord, the 27 stars, the names of the 27 stars and their lord.
Oh.
You should know the lord also. And also draw it every day, 7 days, next 7 days, draw it every day, this circle. Draw it every day, 13 degree, 20 minutes, carefully. Now you know the exact thing, right? So draw it, keep drawing it, this nakshatra. Once you get it by heart, you are done. Once you have it by heart, that's it. Then you know it. But until you have it by heart, like I'm just amazed when you go to any Hindu temple, you tell him what is your nakshatra, he will tell you what rashi you are, which nakshatra, which pada. Which nakshatra, which pada you are, you have to tell him. Then he will immediately tell you the rashi. Means they have the whole nakshatra map in their head. That is how it should be. It should be in the head. Only then, when I look at the daily panchanga, we also looked at the 7 days of the week, right? Okay, now we will, for today, I will end with one last thing, okay? So, the daily calendar, the daily Vedic calendar consists of 5 things, okay? 5 things. I want you to write this down. So, every day, this is the last thing for today. So, every day in a Vedic calendar, so when you look at what is called as Panchanga, Pancha means 5. So Pancha Anga means 5. So Panchanga. So first is Vara, V-A-R-A. Can you write? Vara is weekday. So which day of the week it is? So in daily when you look at it, is it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? Is it Somvar, Mangalvar, Budhvar? It's important. Second is nakshatra of the day. So the nakshatra that is prevalent in the sunrise, at the time of sunrise, that is the nakshatra of the day. Means somebody wants to buy something, a car, an aeroplane, buy not grocery, but anything you want to buy, big things, groceries, not grocery, just some big things that you want to buy or purchase or make a decision. So you have to see which nakshatra, because every nakshatra has a relation to you. For example, depending on my nakshatra, the different nakshatras may be friendly or enemy. So that relationship is there in that table in Panchanga. So you should know the nakshatra of the day. And if you know these nakshatras by heart, then you will easily know the relationship. So when somebody says, hey, I want to buy I was sitting with my two of my cousins, they were about to get divorced and they were sitting with the astrologers. Then he looked at their horoscope, said, which day you got married? He looked at the day. And that day, when they checked both their nakshatras, it was Marana. Somebody gave a time in which it is supposed to die. The marriage is supposed to die. I mean, it should be some extraordinary astrologer. So the first is Vara, the second is Nakshatra of the day. The third is
Prabhuji, nakshatra then will change from location to location, right? Because it's at the time of sunrise, because we have sunrise.
no, more or less it's the same.
Oh,
More or less it's the same, but it may change a little bit, which is prevalent, but not exactly. I would say more than half the world, it will be more or less the same.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. US and India, it could be different.
Yeah, it may be different on the other side of the planet.
Oh, okay.
What is visible from there? So, okay. So the first is weekday, Vara. The second is Tithi. Second is Nakshatra. Third is Tithi. Tithi, Tithi. So Tithi means the day of the month. For example, the full moon day is called Purnima. A month in Vedic astrology starts from Purnima, full moon, to the next Purnima, to the next full moon. That is 1 month in Vedic astrology. So after Purnima comes the next. That is Pratipat, Shukla Pratipat. So the first day of the month. So you should see. So there are 15. Pratipat, Dvitiya, Tritiya. It's in the book. Anyway. So like this Tithi. Tithi, sometimes one calendar day can have 2 Tithis also. Sometimes 2 calendar days make 1 Tithi. So it depends on the speed of the moon. It depends on the speed of the moon. So there are 3 things we spoke already, right? In 5 days in a. So the first is Vara. Second is Nakshatra. Third is Tithi. Fourth is Yoga. 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 So yoga means actually every day of the month has one yoga. Some are auspicious, some are inauspicious. And the fifth one is called Karana. Karana. These are important because they decide what is a good time to do something. Like previously, you want to construct some big buildings or make some big endeavors. Then you calculate the yoga, karana, the time, all these 5 things you have to calculate. In the beginning, it looks a little complicated, but once you have everything by heart, it will strike you. It will automatically strike you. It will come by nature, by second nature. Okay, so what we have to do? So my question is,
Yoga and Karna, what are they? Because
so yoga is every day, every tithi has a corresponding yoga. For example, some days are good for start of marriage, Some days are good for war. Suppose you want to put a court case. So you should not put it on a day where the tithi is soft. You should put it on a day where it is fierce, favorable to you and fierce. The nakshatra should be fierce, So like that, you should select dates for certain activities. On the full moon day, when it is Rohini nakshatra, the farmers in India, they start planting for agriculture. Because on full moon, the energy of the moon is very strong. It is said it is very good for seeds. It's very good for seeds, So like this, you can select days for certain activities. You want to go on a vacation, right? You should not be tired after the vacation. So you have to select a nice day. You go on a vacation, you become happy, you come back fresh. So you can select days for certain activity. All right. For example, when we were applying for green card, then I selected a particular day. When we were applying for citizenship, then I selected a particular day, which was favorable so that things get done soon. So it's very important to select a proper day, date, and time. So by next week, it's not possible by tomorrow, it's only possible by daily practice. Just like yoga is a daily practice, you have to do this daily practice. So you should have the names of the 27 stars by heart. You should have the Lord of each planet by heart, the 12 houses by heart, the Lord of each house by heart, and the Lord, the corresponding avatar of Krishna by heart. If you can do this much, then your basic is ready.
It's a lot.
Yeah. See, Vedic astrology in the beginning, it's very strong, but once your base is strong, there is nothing that you cannot achieve. You can pinpoint a time. We will do some predictions by the end of the month. We will sit down and predict some world events, our personal events. We will sit and do that. It will be very interesting. Then we can test. Yeah. So you can test. You can go and tell in your office, we will make $50,000 profit. They will not believe. Then when they eventually make, they will. So we will test, we will make these predictions, we will go over each of our chart and each factor that we are learning now, the planet, the star, we will go over each thing and then we will try to determine by studying our own horoscope, then we will try to share, then you can understand others' horoscope,
Is there any tips to by heart them somewhere how you learned it by heart or anything?
I learned it basically by drawing. The more I draw, write, like that's why I showed you the planets on top of each other and the Lord next to it. If you just keep on drawing, that memory, that picture sits in your head. Then you draw this circle and you divide into 12 and then you draw the stars, then that sits in your head. So it's just practice. And another thing what you have to do, why I told you this Panchanga, if you do not have, download the app called GCal. It is our ISKCON calendar. It's called GCal. Gaudiya calendar. GCal.
Okay, GCal. GCAL.
GCAL. So Panchanga or any Panchanga app for your area. Now every day you will see a star, you will see a tithi, you will see a yoga, you will see a karana, you will see a vara. Every day if you look at the star, then you know which day Lord it is and everything. Actually, if you do it for 1 year, daily looking at the calendar, if you do it for 1 year, then the following year you will be able to easily match it. It'll be on your head. Not only that, when you go back in time 10 years earlier, you'll be able to predict with that memory, with that pattern, you'll be able to predict what time it was. When somebody is born, you will realize, okay, this is how he will, So you need to get a little deeper into that. That is the thing. So this is the homework, and the book that is there, you can refer, you can read. Also, I have sent a couple of links. One is the Veda based link and this link. So do you think we should have a class tomorrow, or you need time to by heart this and we continue next week?
Next Saturday, Prabhuji.
Next Saturday, okay. Because the thing is, although I have said we will do it for 4 weeks, but my plan is we need to have 10 classes. So we may have Saturday, Sunday. See, once you get this basic right, we can have few more classes. I want you to come to a certain level. We can have few more classes, that's okay. Only thing is February 6th, I go to London. So we have time till then. So we can adjust according to everybody's schedule. We can have some extra classes in between. And we can try to cover as much as we can. And after 2-3 months, then we have a follow-up. So I want to see how astrologically you have reached, where you have reached. So it's important. Okay. So I think we will.
Prabhuji,
Any questions, comments for today?
yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. There is at the beginning of the session, you said that there is at the birth chart, what is the position of the planets at the birth chart. Some of the karma is fixed, and 60% is fixed. 40% is your endeavor and hard work. So, what aspects are fixed? What aspects are something which you could work on? Is there a way to differentiate them, or are you going to touch on this later sometime?
Of course, I will. When we do individual. See, for example, somebody is born to a British royal family. No matter what, he'll be a British royal.
Right.
That is karma. He's already born with the golden spoon or blue eyes, whatever, right? That you cannot change. That is already there by birth. He gets that. Now, what he does with that, so there are certain things. He's born with a certain character also, certain habits from previous life. Now, the thing is, these certain habits, certain weaknesses, they have the potency. If he works on it, then it take him to the next level, or they can take him down. So you can predict the maximum and minimum that he can do, and depending on his knowledge, he can do. So there are so many things, but certain things remain the same. He will be a British royal. He will have all these facilities, and certain plus and minus may happen, right? So those things you can. So it depends, basically.
So the takeaways for this are what you gave as a homework. The other things you just touched upon at a very high level, I'm assuming you will go in depth later.
Yes, of course. I mean, first we need to have this, because
Basics.
whenever we find anything in the horoscope, we need to relate it to the root cause. Which planet, which star, which situation is creating this problem. Okay, but first we need to have that by heart. So if we get that by heart, then we can go to the next level.
Okay, because you also touched upon very lightly, on Wednesday is good for earning money, Thursday is for knowledge related.
Yeah.
So that I am assuming you'll do in depth later, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, so we will stop here, and we will meet next Saturday. So next Saturday around the same time, is it okay with everyone?
This is perfect.
Right? Everybody is okay. And today's class, everybody could understand. Was it understandable? Was it complicated?
No problem.
Good. Okay. Radhika, Mataji, is it good? Okay, understand. Okay. That's all is the main thing, that you should be able to understand. So that's important. Okay then. So I will stop this recording. I'll post this recording also. and upload it onto the WhatsApp. Okay. All right. So see you all next week then.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let me stop.